Deportiva y con swing.
Deportiva y con swing.
La factoría del deporte desde New York para ti. Es una máquina.
Es una máquina
Pensada para ti.
pensada para ti. Número uno en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Con informaciones importantes siempre frescas.
Y con entrevistas que te ponen de cabeza.
Lo mejor del deporte lo encontrarás aquí.
Búscale en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Suscríbete,
Ay sí,
infórmate.
ok. Dale a la campana para que te llegue.
Javi and Francisco, thank you very much for joining us. For those that would like to ask a question, please use the raise your hand tab. Mike Puma, your line is open.
Questions for Javi. I'm just wondering how much you enjoyed your time here, and what do you think the off season is going to bring for you?
It was honestly really fun being around this group, being around these guys. Especially him, that we learn. Everybody learns from him, and one wants to be like him. So yeah, it was really fun. I'm thankful for the year that I had, and that I could deal with the pressure of being free agent, and I had a good year. So I'm just gonna get some rest now with my family and see what happens.
These last couple of games, were you have any physical thing, or why didn't you play?
No, I mean not really. I was feeling good, just being smart with it, and obviously trying to finish strong.
Thank you.
Tony DeComo, your line's open.
All right, guys. Follow up, Francisco, from your perspective, how much would you enjoy to have Javier back next year, and how much will you maybe, if you can give your recommendation to have that happen, how much will you try to do that?
Anthony, I would love to have him back. I said it earlier, he's a gamer, he's a winner, and he competes day in and day out. I had a lot of fun with him, playing up the middle. I learned of it from him. We fed off each other. We try to do whatever it takes to bring some wins and try to be in the playoffs. We fell short from making it to the postseason. Hopefully he's back next year and help us make it to the dance.
And also for you, Francisco, how much have you reflected already? I know the season just ended. How much have you reflected already just on, why you guys fell short and what you need to do to make sure that doesn't happen next year?
I just got to play better. That's the number one thing, definitely. But we dealt with a lot of adversity this year. Lots of up and downs this year. I haven't really sat down and reflect on how the year went. That's more for the off season, because I was, focusing on the games day in and day out. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sitting and thinking about how the season went. Think about all the things that need to get better, including myself. Well, I gotta improve, and I honestly think I gotta improve. I know I gotta improve in every aspect of the game for sure.
Thank you.
Justin, your line's open.
Hey, this one's for Francisco. You spend so much time around these guys over the course of a season. I know the decisions up top aren't in your control, but how do you guys as players deal with the uncertainty of whatever your feelings may be toward not being around some of the guys next year potentially?
Well, that's when you don't take any pitch for granted. You don't know what's going to happen next year. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You appreciate every one of the guys that are around you every single day, that go out there and grind with you. And then you just got to put it to the side also. You got to put it to the side because, there's a lot of guys are free agent. If you let that affect you on a daily basis, it was going to be hard for them to perform. And at the end of the day, my job is to go out there and play the game as hard as I can, not to be a front office member. So I don't decide of who's coming back or any of those things. I just try to support everybody in the clubhouse and learn from them and give the fans what they want, and that's wins.
And then your teammates and coaches have said you're a pretty vocal leader. What's your message to this team as you guys head into the offseason?
Enjoy the offseason. Enjoy your families. Celebrate each day that you have with your family. And get better. We all got to get better. That's pretty much it. At the end of the day, we don't know what tomorrow brings, but if we appreciate every minute of our days, When we go to bed, our days are a little happier.
Thanks, Francisco.
Ferdinand Rivera, your line is open.
Saludos, Javi, Francisco. Háblame un poco, ¿verdad?, sobre la experiencia y esta primera temporada, sobre ustedes jugando juntos. ¿Qué les pareció? Y si descartan o mantienen en pie jugar en la Liga Roberto Clemente en Puerto Rico.
Este año los 2 meses que tuvimos juntos fueron divertidos, la pasamos sumamente bien. Peleamos día tras día para tratar de meter el equipo en la postemporada. Aprendí mucho de Javi y del día a día, de cómo uno pues tiene que prepararse para competir al máximo. Y sobre la Liga de Puerto Rico, pues ahora mismo estoy bien cansado. Tuve una lección este año. Una vez mi cuerpo se sienta bien, pues veremos a ver. En verdad que no puedo darle falsa esperanza, pero tampoco puedo decir que no. Uno nunca sabe qué pueda suceder. Algún día tengo que jugar, definitivo, algún día tengo que jugar. So, veremos a ver qué va a pasar.
Para mí, yo aprendí muchas cosas de aquí, del equipo. En realidad me estaba ajustando al cambio al principio y a la ciudad también, pero en el club aprendí muchísimas cosas de competir, de trabajar duro y correcto y a la misma vez aprendí muchas cosas de diferentes compañeros, no solamente de Francisco, de familia, de Chugal, de Rich Hill, de todo el mundo. En realidad aprendí muchas cosas que me hacían falta y ¿sabes?, que me hicieron mejor para mi carrera. Y
¿Cuán clave fue el apoyo? ¿Cuán clave fue el apoyo de Puerto Rico esta temporada para ustedes?
Para mí siempre es grande. Siempre yo siento que nosotros cuando estamos haciendo bien y nos apoyan desde Puerto Rico, siempre sentimos como que estamos con ellos, como que estamos jugando allá y nos aplauden. En realidad yo siento una emoción grandísima para mí porque, o sea, nosotros jugamos con mucho sabor boricua, como decimos nosotros, no sé.
Next question will come from Tim Healy.
Hey, a couple questions for Francisco. How will this offseason be different than last offseason for you? Not only from the perspective of not having to deal with trade possibilities, but also, having your daughter now as opposed to expecting her.
It's gonna be quite different. I mean, I had it last year in November. Not me, my fiance had the baby in November. So yeah, I spent the whole off season with her. However, she's a little bigger, so she's gonna be a little bit more active. I think it's time for me to be getting up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning to start training, start my day, so I can finish my day a little earlier. That way I can spend more time with her in the afternoons. It's gonna be good that I don't have to expect to get traded. And I'm looking forward to see what's gonna happen with the Mets organization. I'm looking forward to it. I think we as an organization, we have a lot in front of us that we got to do. And I got to definitely train. I'm gonna train hard. I got to get better for sure because it wasn't a good year for me when it comes to performance.
And then in looking back on the last 6 months, 8 months, according to spring training, how would you describe the eventfulness of all that has gone on?
Of all the events that happened throughout the year?
Yeah, just so much happened, it feels like, in looking back on the last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, I actually learned that if you dwell on it or if you sit on it too long, it affects you. But here I have learned that things, they go by quick. It's like one thing happens, we talk about it, it's discussed, the next day it's something different, or 2 days later, people forget about it because it's about what can you do on a daily basis thing. And that's good. I live about what's in front of you, in front of your toes, not what's in front of the shadow of yourself.
Thank you.
Isha, your line is open.
Hey guys, for both of you, but maybe more so for Francisco, just what was it like playing for Rojas this season? And did he have any message for the team at any point today?
It was fun. It was fun playing for him. He's relatively young as a manager. I come from Tito, completely different ways of managing. I like them. I like him a lot. He brings a lot to the game. One of the biggest messages that he brought this year was to be fearless, to not fear what's going to happen tomorrow, to not fear what's going to happen in a month from now, to worry about what you got today and not fear. I respect that because sometimes we think about what the outcome could be instead of worrying about the process, and that could bring a little fear or a little bit of doubtness to our minds. And I had a lot of fun having him as a manager. He's very even keel. There's not a lot of emotions from his part. But I'm sure he's looking forward to the offseason to continue to learn and get better as a manager. And so we all, we're all looking forward to working as hard as we can in the offseason to continue to be better.
Francisco and Javi, thank you very much both for your availability.
Good offseason.
Hi, Noah. Thank you very much for joining us. For those that wish to ask a question, please use the raise your hand tab. And we'll begin with Tim Healy. Your line is open.
Hey, Noah, having come back for these 2 innings, how will your offseason be different physically and also mentally, having been able to come back briefly as opposed to if you hadn't?
I guess that was the goal from when I had my setback from 2 or 3 months ago, was just to come back healthy and to showcase that I was healthy going into free agency. I think now that I was able to come back after those 2 innings, I can kind of relax a little bit in terms of being a person that's just rehabbing and being someone that's trying to pitch in meaningful baseball games. So I think that'll definitely help on the mental side as well. Now it was just proving that I was healthy. Now it's just now it's time to get back to the old Noah. And I think anybody that knows me know that no one's going to outwork me to get back to where I used to be.
And regarding being healthy, being a normal player going into the offseason and free agency, do you feel that you've accomplished that and proven that, even though it was only 2 innings and there were no breaking balls?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I just had to listen to the surgeons and their expertise on when I should implement the breaking balls. And now going into spring training next year, I won't have any issues with that. I'll be full go. But yeah, I definitely think that I was able to showcase just that I was healthy.
Thank you.
Tony, your line's open.
Hey, Noah. We're obviously used to seeing you throw 98, 99, 100 all the time. Is that a situation for you when throwing 94, 95 where you feel like you have more to give now and maybe you're taking it easy a little bit? Or is there an arm strength component that, to get back there, you still need to develop?
Looking at other guys that have come back from Tommy John, I think most of the data shows that everyone's stronger in their second year. So I'm really just kind of confident in being able to go out there next year and have the old Noah back, throwing 97, 98, 100. Yeah.
Also, as you go into this offseason, I know you told us a few days ago that you were optimistic that you could be back here. Have you already had any talks with the Mets in terms of a new contract, whether that has something to do with the qualifying offer or something completely different?
No, not really. We haven't had that kind of discussion yet.
Thank you.
Tim Britton, your line's open.
Hey, Noah, you mentioned the breaking balls. Is the timeline for you on them to start throwing them around spring training next year, or might you do that earlier in the offseason at all?
From my understanding, I think this offseason will be a normal throwing progression, just like any other offseason, not coming back from Tommy John.
Mike Puma, you have the next question.
Noah, any, I guess, maybe anxiety on your part, wondering how this thing's all going to unfold for you this offseason, whether you'll be back or going somewhere else or what's going to happen?
No, I try not to visualize that. You know, it's kind of out of my control right now. And, you know, it'd be a tough pill to swallow, not wearing the Mets jersey next year. But you know, I'm just going to take things day by day. Try not to focus too much on it.
And what would it mean, you think, if Jake comes back as what he is and you come back where you are, what do you think that would mean for next season?
I think it'd be great to be in the same rotation as Jake and Taiwan. What they did this year was pretty awesome to witness. But, you know, I think if I'm in the rotation next year, we'd have definitely something solid, especially with McGill too and Carrasco.
Thank you.
Noah, thank you for your time and congratulations on your return.
That it? I'm unmuted.
Thanks, Noah. Hi, Louis. Thank you for joining us. For those wishing to ask a question, please use the raise your hand tab. First question will come from Mike Puma.
Louis, now that it's officially over, what are the emotions of having gone through this season?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the disappointment of not achieving the goal that we were talking about from the offseason to spring training to from the beginning and throughout the season, right? And it's just disappointing that we didn't get to where we wanted to, right? So, you know, those are the feelings that I'm kind of carrying right now. You know, those feelings are mixed with, you know, the last day that we have as a group here. And this year, some guys are departing out of here to their homes. Some guys are heading back to New York on the plane. So there's the group breaking, you know, all the guys that we had this year, 62, 63 different guys, you know, to get to the 162nd game of the season. And just looking back at how everything went, you know, and how could things gone better. But, you know, obviously there's nothing you can do. And, you know, we're at this point and we just got to move forward, and guys got to work and get some rest first, enjoy the family time and decompress a little bit, and then get back into action and be ready for next year.
When do you expect to have a conversation with Sandy about your situation?
I have no idea. So, you know, whenever that happens, that'll happen. And, you know, we should find out soon. So, yeah, let's see, but I have no idea.
Thank you.
Tony, your line is open.
Hey, Luis, along those lines, what are your plans personally just over the next week? You going back with the team, you going to the DR, where will you be? What will you be doing?
Well, I mean, I don't specifically want to share those, but I'm going to gather my stuff. Of course, I'm heading back to New York right now in the next couple of days. Just gather my stuff and just be ready to have beginning of an off season with the family. And do those things, and then things will start, unfolding, I guess, right? So, but in the next couple of days, I'll be in New York, just getting, things scattered, picked up, organized.
Justin, your line's open.
Hey, Lou, I know you mentioned that everyone was kind of packing things up and getting ready to go, but what was your final message to the team?
We had a pregame. Now postgame, everyone's just shaking hands, hugging, and some emotional moments. But before the game, it was more so about how everything went, right? The whole season, and the disappointment, but at the same time, the learning curve that I think everybody had, and how we can all embrace it. Me as the manager, failing to help the team win some more games, and guys that feel probably that they didn't contribute enough. I told them that to use any other things that they think that they have to improve as a drive for motivation to get better, right, and work in the off season and have that purpose. So it was kind of like that message, and at the same time, our clubhouse as it is a pretty good clubhouse. And I always said that that's the one thing that I've enjoyed here the last 2 years, is just how the clubhouse is and how everyone gets along. The results haven't been pleasant, that part has been disappointing, but in the clubhouse, just talking like we were before the game, it was just about, how can each guy get better. And it's just, a general message and all that. And I like to connect with everyone in that way. So we did a pregame knowing that everyone post-game was just going to start, getting ready to get out of here.
Given that you've seen a lot of those guys from the minor leagues up and saw them come up together, is it weird to know that there's a potential that maybe that same group won't be intact next year?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that possibility, right? And I think every year, from year to year, you don't know some of the off-season plans that front office will have, and you don't know what may happen, right? And you deliver that message. And I think not even from me, not only from me, but also so other players say, like, enjoy the time together. And even from a week ago, guys have been saying, like, enjoying this time together, because this exact group is not going to be the same one probably next year. So they're mindful of that, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, that's out of everyone's control in here. Today we enjoy this. I'm going to call this time that we spend in the clubhouse the last time in 2021, being in uni and playing out there. That's about it.
Thanks.
Raul Ramos, your line is open.
Saludos, Luis. Después de haber terminado tu segunda temporada, ¿cómo esta experiencia te ayudó a madurar como dirigente?
Bueno, Raúl, sí, me ha ayudado muchísimo. Yo he aprendido muchísimo sobre cómo ser dirigente a nivel de las grandes ligas. Hay muchas cosas diferentes que como dirigir en el invierno, que es donde yo dirigí unos 4 años, de cómo dirigir en las menores, que dirigí, qué sé yo, unos 8 años por ahí. Claro que es muy diferente. Sí, había visto cosas en el pasado y había aprendido cosas en el pasado, pero hasta que tú no funcionas en la posición, tú no tienes la experiencia propia. Así que yo sí he aprendido muchísimo. Y son muchas de las cosas que yo voy a ir con mira a la temporada muerta a trabajar en cómo seguir siendo mejor dirigente, cómo seguir siendo mejor instructor, cómo modelar algunas cosas que hicimos y también modelando algunas cosas que hicieron otros equipos, que están haciendo otros equipos. también que van para los playoffs ahora mismo. No voy a decir nada en específico de quiénes, pero son cosas que uno aprende y uno recoge y la hace parte de su repertorio, y eso son en las que uno va a trabajar. Uno siempre tiene que pensar en mejorar, y esa mentalidad es la que yo siempre voy a tener, y más en este juego. Así que sí, muchísimas cosas, y estoy hambriento por aprender más todavía, por ser mejor todavía para el equipo, para los muchachos, para quien me necesita. Así que sí, he aprendido bastante.
Tim Britton, your line's open.
Hey, Louis, you've talked so much about staying in the moment and kind of taking it day by day. Were there any moments today where you found yourself maybe a little more emotional than you would be otherwise in the span of the season?
Yeah, a little bit. It was a different day. Knowing it's the last day of the season, and we're about to part ways, and you think of, you look up there and you look at our record. I look at our record up there, who, by the way, it's up there on the big board here the entire game. We're playing pretty good baseball at one point of the season, and that fell apart. And you ask the manager, you got to feel responsible for not winning enough games. You got to feel responsible for not helping the team achieve the goal that was set at the beginning of the season. Managers get paid to win games, and we won less than we lost this year. So you get caught in things like that. I get in thoughts like this, I guess, in the last game of the season when you don't achieve your goal, right? So that did that was in my head there at one moment, but I still I bounce right back and I pay attention to the game. I still watching the game, and I want to, even though it's the last game, I'm paying attention, seeing what guys are doing, and I can talk to them about baseball or give them an advice about something that they can take into the offseason. So, but yes, there's some things that can come to mind a last game like this.
Tisha, your line's open.
Hey, Luis, you mentioned you could have done better as manager. I guess just what are those areas you may have reflected on that you could improve in this position?
Well, yeah, it's like a general comment more than anything, Disha. There are specific situations that a manager learns, and specific decisions that a manager learns and will probably do them differently in the future. And there's some things that other teams do as well that you can say, okay, this is we can use that as a model as well. So there's different things moving on to the future. I'm sure that coaches, managers, like players, they keep developing, they keep growing, they keep getting better, and that comes with experience. So this year it was a great experience for me, and just looking back, like I feel responsible for a lot of that happened this year. We could have won more games. We could have been in a different position. So that's why I carry those thoughts. But it's more so like a general comment. I don't want to come in and start breaking down like specific situations now.
Thank you.
Louis, thank you very much. I think I can speak for everybody in thanking you for your consistent accountability, your consistent access, and your ultimate professionalism. So
yeah, thanks Harold. No, and I want to thank everyone too for how professional you guys were this season. And I did want to give my best just to be approachable and always be as transparent as we could be with you guys, but the professionalism makes it really easy. So really appreciate you guys, and pray for everyone to have a healthy off season. And some of you, or majority of you, know how to reach out, and I pray that I'm available.
Well, that mission has been accomplished. Thank you very much, Louis. Thank you to everybody else for joining, and I look forward to being in touch throughout the off season. Take care, everybody.
Máquina Deportiva, lo mejor del mundo del deporte, con análisis, comentarios, entrevistas.